Two Western Conference teams with a point to prove take the pitch at Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City. The Energy started the year with catastrophe. They've turned it around to go unbeaten in 4. They take on a Colorado Springs side that is clinging on to the 8th spot in the Western Conference. Hello, everybody. Alongside Ken LaBicca, my name is Evan Weston. Thank you so much for joining us. It's in the upper 80s tonight at Taft Stadium, but a dry heat as it typically is in the Southwest. And this Oklahoma City team is heating up along with the weather.
Yeah, as you said, Evan, unbeaten in 4 straight, and the good fortune started at Portland 2 weeks ago, and then confidence started to spring. Confidence there from Jose Barril. That's his goal on Independence Day, and M80 off his right foot in San Antonio, an absolute firecracker.
A better rocket than James Harden and crew that come in to play the Spurs. Unfortunately for OKC, they gave up a golazo about 10 minutes later to settle for a draw, but they've earned 10 points in their last 4. They're coming into this one on their best run of form this year.
And they're only 7 points out of that final playoff spot right now in the Western Conference, despite that poor start.
And a huge opportunity to gain ground because they're playing the team that's in that spot, Colorado Springs. They've struggled on the road this year, but what a big win they had in their last road game against Portland Timbers 2. 4 goals as they swamped Portland.
Yeah, both of these teams have gotten fat on Portland in the last few weeks, and so you've got to think for Colorado Springs, some confidence for them away from their home confines, but the road record doesn't lie. 2-6, 10 goals scored, but 8 of those came in 2 of those wins, and so this has been really problematic for Colorado Springs, and they do sit, however, in a good spot in that top 8.
They've had some tough luck as well. They've lost all but one of those games by just 1 goal. Should be a tight one tonight as well. A resurgent energy and a Switchbacks team that sits just above the red line. It's coming your way after this.
Find your Mercy primary care doctor at mercy.net/energy.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Getting ready to go here at Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City. The Energy unbeaten in their last 4. Switchbacks FC sitting in the 8th spot in the West as we see the processional. Both teams making their way out onto the field. The supporters here at Taft Stadium getting ready for their team that has come back to life. They'll take on this starting 11 from Colorado Springs.
Jordan Burt sitting in the midfield. He is in the back four by trade, but moves up in the formation alongside of Jake Wood tonight as Colorado Springs super banged up, trying to find production at the top of the formation, and it's up to Burt and to Jake Wood to make sure that Marty Maben has room to roam.
Jordan Burt's been outstanding the last 2 years, 13 goals for Switchbacks. Meanwhile, OKC rotating a little bit. Couple of FC Dallas loanees in the lineup tonight. Atuahene for Miguel Gonzalez and Jordan Cano for Drew Becky. Matt Van Oekel, 5th in the league in saves, is in goal tonight for OKC.
And Van Oekel has really become one of the finest keepers in the USL. And there you get a look at him with that Tom Selleck-esque Magnum PI mustache as well. But he has really come to life, and he's a big reason OKC was able to tread water until they finally found the offense.
It's a shame OKC's in the whites tonight. The Blue Bloods would seem to be the theme for Van Oekel. Well, we're underway here at Taft Stadium. OKC and Colorado Springs. Major Western Conference implications. Oklahoma City basically had to go on a run like this if they were going to salvage anything out of this year. They have this game and their next one, including 4 of their next 5 at home. There's a chance for them to climb right back into that picture.
No doubt. And Steve Cook, a credit to him. Talking to him in the throes of that 2-10 start, he did not panic, and he said, we're not changing anything. We just have to stay the course, and that's exactly what they've done. Last home match was case in point. LA Galaxy, 2 stubborn opponent here at Taft Stadium, and it came in the 92nd minute. Christian Valesky, a late sub, and those are the types of contributions, late goals from guys who just come into the match that are getting the job done.
Long ball for Valesky, but handled comfortably by Jamal Jack. Maben looking to play in. Young Shane Malcolm from Lauderhill, Florida, will be deep throw for Colorado Springs for Mr. Malcolm. 2 goals, 3 assists this year for the Switchbacks. Colorado Springs been kind of up and down all season, really. They've been good. They just haven't totally gotten into a groove. And as you mentioned, Ken, they've been so banged up. Their leader, Luke Vercolone, has been out. He's making his way back. Pascal Abusi, the starting center back that worked his way back into the team, he got hurt during the week on Tuesday night against Orange County. He's not playing tonight. They only have a 5-man bench. There's a foul on Colorado Springs going against Sam Hamilton on loan from Colorado Rapids.
It's just so uncharacteristic of both of these clubs to be struggling, or at least as uneven as they are. These are 2 franchises that have really known nothing but the postseason in their respective histories.
Well, Colorado Springs, founded in 2015, they won a playoff game in their first season. Got into the conference semifinals in the West. They were the 3 seed their first 2 years. They missed the playoffs by 2 points last year, and this year again they're sitting right on the red line. Here's Atuahene with some space for Oklahoma City, but a heavy touch sees Josh Suggs handle. Back to Moise Poiti, starting for the 8th time in goal. They're splitting time about 60-40 between Poiti and Stuart Sayas. And Poiti has had the better numbers of the 2. 3 clean sheets in 7 games. Ajekwa to Jordan Schweitzer. A lot of University of Denver guys on this team. 4 or 5 of them on the roster, and a lot of them played together. Hamilton as Ajekwa. Hamilton out wide from Malcolm on the right. Nice defense there by the left back Sean McClaws to keep everybody in front of him, and they win a goal kick.
McClaws is so strong on the back end of this OKC Energy back 4.
It's a hot night tonight, 88 degrees, although not humid, almost never is in Oklahoma City, and a light breeze as well, but you would expect a lot of sweat to fall on the Taft Stadium pitch over the course of this one.
And speaking of McLaws, you have Drew Becky in the back 4 for OKC. Tonight, Jordan Cano, Richard Dixon as well on the right side of that back 4. But no matter who Steve Cook has interspersed into that back four. They have been so strong for the vast portion of this season. So many one-goal losses, even in that 2-10 start. That's why confidence never quite wavered to the point of losing the club.
Here's Atua Hene, the FC Dallas loanee. Atua Hene, left foot shot blocked. And a loss through the trees there, and eventually Hamilton gets it out of dodge to Shane Malcolm.
It's good to see OKC Energy on the front foot. They have a tendency to sit back, let the opponent come to them. It happened to them 2 weeks ago against an LA Galaxy 2 side that was really half of what it is at full strength. And LA Galaxy 2 had several opportunities. OKC Energy, now that they do have this 4-game unbeaten streak, need to start playing on the front foot more.
Atua Hene in particular, a guy who's come into the side. This is his 3rd start. 4th overall pick in the MLS Super Draft this past January. He's on loan from FC Dallas, a club that is renowned for building young players. Run from Ajekwa, but screened off by Cano.
And it's a very formidable attack with Atua Hene added to the mix. You have Christian Valesky, who was acquired in early May from St. Louis. He had the game-winning goal against LA Galaxy 2. You have Sia as well. He's been strong.
Valesky pushing forward. Valesky, right foot, wide. Goal kick for Moise Poiti.
Well, we nearly spoke production from Valesky into existence as he kept it on his right foot and was able, after the turnover, to create some space just off the mark. But that's how dynamic Valesky is. Look at him sidestep, get it onto his right foot, and just pushed it wide.
Christian Valesky, 3 goals this year, 32 in his USL career. 20 in 2 years with Rochester, where he won the league championship in 2015. 25-year-old out of Henderson, Nevada. Here's another long ball by OKC. This time, though, comfortably run down by Taylor Hunter, the regular right back, who was cut into center back with the injury to Ibusi. Karsten Hanlon, who is a midfielder by trade, is slotting in at right back. Ajekwa on the break for Colorado Springs. Out wide, Mabin. And Cano handles. Cano, the other of the FC Dallas loanees in the group for Oklahoma City tonight.
Ajekwa working extremely hard in the middle of the field and creating at least a dangerous throw in the attacking third for Colorado Springs. That was good to see him staying with it.
Suggs. Jordan Burt. Ajekwa. Cross inside. Malcolm heads across, shot high. Suggs ran into the area looking to pocket it. It was a nice drawn-up play by Colorado Springs. That was straight off the training ground with Malcolm heading across the goal mouth, but Suggs just got under it.
Yeah, Malcolm, who is sitting there on the near post, you wonder if maybe he should have tried to give it a go. He was in a position to test Van Oekel and ended up putting it on the left foot of Mabin, but certainly could have maybe tried to hit it upper right corner.
Energy FC and Arvis Bank have teamed to add a new element to home matches. The first ball that leaves the field of play and makes it into the stands is for that person to keep. That one went all the way into the pavilion out there. I wonder who tracked it down. As we have Poiti turn one away and out for a Colorado Springs throw.
There's some urgency between these two clubs here early on.
Well, we were expecting a kind of a slower moving game to start, one that would see things feel out, and that has not been the case. These two teams are both going after it.
And I think sometimes at this point in the season, you will get some feeling it out process early in a match.
Atua Hene in again. He put one kind of a shot pass, a schross, if you will, with Valesky going down towards the area, but it's parried out by Oklahoma City. Atua Hene looking for Valesky, who's making a run in behind. Jamal Jack got in front of it. Jack, a stalwart, has started every match this year for Colorado Springs. They've been very short-handed at that center back position. Atua Hene goes down in the box, but nothing there, and Ajekwa carries out for Colorado Springs.
Jamal Jack, such a large presence in the middle of the box and made 2 outstanding defensive plays to thwart that OKC Energy opportunity.
Long ball, Malcolm tries to head to himself. McLaws went down, and eventually the ball rolls over the end line for a corner.
Yeah, McLaws overplayed that and then was muscled off the ball by Malcolm.
This is the no call on a Tuahene. That looks like all ball to me.
Yeah, I think that is fairly clean by Sam Hamilton.
This will be our first corner of the match, and it goes to Colorado Springs. We'll see if Jack comes up to get on the end of one here. He has scored a goal this year. 6'3", 201 pounds, out of Trinidad and Tobago. He has played for the national team, not something that United States fans will want to be reminded of in this World Cup season.
Still reeling from that, and it was months ago.
Back post, Van Oekel swats it away.
He is so long. He is such a veteran presence. Van Oekel so strong, and that was case in point.
Cano heads down on the rebound ball. Here's Schweitzer with a long-range shot. Van Oekel had it read the entire way, and it's a goal kick for Oklahoma City. Well, the Energy FC Gold Card is a benefit for season seat members that earns them discounts at several metro area locations like Terry Parker Solutions, Mama Rita's, and Buffalo Wild Wings on Northwest Expressway. To learn more, visit energyfc.com/gold. 10 minutes in, we've had some excitement, but no score just yet. Evan West and Ken Levicka with you as Oklahoma City looks to extend their unbeaten run to 5. They take on a Switchbacks team that sits 8th in the Western Conference.
Kind of back to the point, Evan, we were discussing earlier about early portions of matches, and especially this time of year, early July. Yes, there are playoff pictures, but things are still very fluid. And it's common in the USL and leagues around the world at this point of a season, this juncture, to come into a match, feel one another out, and then you see, especially in the USL this year, action really pick up after the 65th or 70th minute. But OKC is wasting no time with some good fortune the last 4 matches coming out and firing. I think Colorado Springs is looking to try and get themselves right and get some consistency. This is a good pace early.
They've definitely come after this game. Very often times when these long travel stretches, especially when you play 2 games in a week, you'll see teams sit back and try to absorb on the road. And the Switchbacks, as you say, Ken, they are not doing that at all.
No.
They have come after this game. I think the 2 teams know how important this game is in the standings. With the 1-8 start, Oklahoma City has no margin for error. I mean, they have to get results out of just about every fixture.
And keep in mind, if you're OKC, you have 5 of the next 7 at home.
Yep.
You're not going to have an opportunity like this the rest of the campaign.
You play the team that you are directly attempting to catch here in the form of Switchbacks FC. This is a massive game. Here's Rasmussen for the Energy. Out wide, Richard Dixon. Rasmussen, little heel over the bar. That was an interesting little maneuver as Rasmussen tried to chip Moise Poiti, but put it just a little bit high. It'll be a goal kick for the Cameroonian.
Rasmussen, the Dane. Look at how cheeky this attempt is with the back heel, and it at least forced Poiti into getting to the post and keeping an eye on it. I like the creativity from the man with the captain's armband.
Rasmussen wearing that armband tonight on a temporary basis. Justin Chavez, the captain for OKC, rotated after playing at San Antonio on Wednesday night. Talked to Steve Cook this week, the head coach for Oklahoma City. He said, you know, it's so hard to fathom how difficult it is when you are someone who relies on your legs and your physical fitness for your living, to play a game on a Wednesday night, in a hot night in Texas, to go back to a hotel for just a little bit of sleep, get up and get on a chartered flight with a connection in Houston at 6:30 in the morning, and then to come out and play another 90 minutes in the heat 2 days later. And that's why you're seeing some rotation tonight from the Energy.
Especially in the Western Conference, where travel is inherently longer and a tad more difficult, at least time-consuming from that perspective. And it's a tough situation to be in, but both squads, especially OKC, has handled it well over the last 3 weeks or so.
Energy sitting back a little bit here. Colorado Springs trying to settle into some possession. It's been all counterattacking soccer so far. Here's a Jakwa. A Jakwa shot. Oh boy. He just took his attempt there. Again, it's kind of a cute little half shot, half chip there by a Jakwa. And just a little bit shy of the target.
Clearly aiming for the near post, and as we take a look at this, a Jakwa opportunity, had a ton of room to operate and had Van Oekel completely off balance. He was beaten if it was on the mark.
That was a shocking play there by Van Oekel. You're right, he was hesitant to come off his line. And I'll tell you, if you're a goalkeeper, if you come off your line, you better go get the ball.
Yep.
And he was nowhere near it on that play.
Well, Richard Dixon also, too, at the back end of that OKC defense, needs to be present, needs to at least be within 4 feet of a Jaquan and make sure he can't have a free shot at it as you get another look at a Jaquan in his bronze hair.
Well, Dixon's getting a shot tonight to impress at that right back position. Christian Ibiaga not playing. He's been a walking yellow card this year, 6 of them on the campaign, and he gets a break, and Dixon with a chance to impress at that position. Nice ball movement here by OKC. This is Baril, who scored that incredible goal we showed you in the pregame in the draw they had in San Antonio on Wednesday night. Schweitzer for the Switchbacks on the counter.
And you mentioned Ibiaga, Evan. He had worn the captain's armband up until finally the offensive breakout against RGV, but yellow card accumulation forced him out of that match, and that's how the captain's armband began to change hands, went to Chavez, and then ultimately tonight to Rasmussen, and you don't see Ibiaga on the pitch.
He's not on the team sheet either, so no chance for him to come in as a substitute. Chavez isn't either tonight. We expect that's just regular rest for the center back, and Cano, the loanee from FC Dallas, you would expect will play a full 90. Here's Atuahene, the other FC Dallas loanee, out wide for Dixon. Richard Dixon with a cross in for Valesky. It's headed away by Becky and then Burt to get it out of dodge and out to Shane Malcolm. Atuahene has looked so dangerous in these counterattacks for OKC. Perhaps the most dynamic player on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, without question. Jamal Jack, though, doing good work defensively again for Colorado Springs.
Baril, there's Hugh Dixon, Alex Dixon with a goal for OKC. A brilliant cross by Baril, and Hugh Alexander Dixon with the opener for the Energy.
And that was a picture-perfect delivery into the box. It was a giveaway in the middle of the field. OKC, they have been on front foot the entire opening half, and it pays off. That is the look of a confident club right there, and what a finish. You see Baril splits 2 defenders, left-footed delivery, and then a left-footed finish from Alex Dixon. That is extremely nicely done. The man they call Pink, wearing the pink cleats, and he scores.
Alex Dixon from Bay City, Texas, former North Carolina Tar Heel, who was a Houston Dynamo product before settling in with Rochester, where he won a USL title. He spent time in the NASL as well, and has found a home here at Oklahoma City. That's his 3rd goal of the year. First assist for Baril, which is astonishing because he leads the team by a wide margin in key passes. But that's his first official assist. First time anyone's actually finished one of them. But Baril on the score sheet for the 2nd straight game, and it is Oklahoma City with a lead here at home as they look to extend their unbeaten streak to 5.
Yeah, quite a last 4 days for Jose Baril. Has his first goal of the season on July 4th at San Antonio, and then his first assist of the campaign comes just moments ago, and another early lead conceded by Colorado Springs. They gave up a goal to Orange County 2 minutes in just 4 days ago, and now they find themselves down 1-0 in the 18th minute.
Yeah, it's been a major problem for them. Mabin trying to get something started for OKC, but it's played out comfortably by Rasmussen for Oklahoma City. Alex Dixon with the go-ahead opening goal for the Energy. It was 88 seconds into the game that Michael Seaton scored for the Orange County Blues, and when you give them a lead, it's very difficult for it to get it back with Andre Rawls in goal. He's been spectacular this year, goalie of the year for my money.
Right, and Orange County is just so complete.
Burt to the end line. Ajakwa. Colorado Springs looks to get it back, but Ajakwa called offside by the assistant referee Eric Wood.
One thing that Colorado Springs can't do is panic. And this is a veteran club. This is a club that's been there before with a coach that certainly has been there before. It's easy to feel a bit down on your luck after you had a poor start against Orange County that cost you the match. Now a poor start here tonight against OKC Energy, but you need to revert back to the style of play that you had at Portland. You put up 4 goals in that match, and there's still plenty of time. This is still the club, Colorado Springs, that is ahead in the table and above that red line, as you've mentioned a couple of times, Evan.
Malcolm overlapping run. It's Suggs. He leads the league in crosses. Suggs puts one in front, and it's knocked away. It was a little bit out in front of Mabin, and McLaws able to parry it out for a throw-in.
But that's much better. The goal happens, but immediately Colorado Springs is coming back and attacking on the counter. That's good to see.
Suggs has 201 crosses this year. The next closest man in the league is Marcel Schaefer of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. There's number 202, and it goes over the goal. Shane Malcolm running it down, looking to keep this alive, but he lost it. It's a throw for OKC.
That's just a testament to his ability to give Colorado Springs opportunities in the area. And with left or right foot, generally using his left foot where he's lined up on the formation to deliver. I think that cross stat does mean a lot.
He's really the main engine for their offense. Typically that'll come from your midfield, but on this team, it's from the left back position, and they've had success with it. Suggs in his 3rd year with the club, he took the armband from Luke Vercoloni this offseason, which is an enormous testament to how important he is and how much this team has rallied around him.
Colorado Springs could also afford to have Vercoloni back at some point.
Yeah, it
his
would not
injury is certainly looming large over there last couple
even
of weeks.
Even at age 36, Vercoloni is certainly good enough to make an impact for Switchbacks FC, and has so far this season. The first ever signing that the club made. To Ahene, got past 1 but not 2, as Suggs turns him away.
I liked what Poitier was able to do as Valesky was charging hard on him with that ball over the top. That was a very good goalkeeping, and I think you saw as well right there why Poitier right now is the preferred goalkeeper for Colorado Springs. He plays with conviction.
Mabin, Ojekwa. Nicely done, threading through Malcolm. Shane Malcolm just over the bar.
And Malcolm with a glorious opportunity, and he had some room to work with. Van Oekel was standing centered in front of the net. Could have picked either corner and instead put it over the top. This was set up expertly. And look at this for Malcolm. At the last moment, it was McLaws who got in front of Malcolm and altered the shot.
I love that combination play by Switchbacks. Ojekwa pulling the defense back, and then Hamilton with just that one little touch.
Well, it's clear tonight the offense for Colorado Springs is going to go through Ojekwa.
He's the creator. I'll tell you what, this has been a fun game to watch. It's been end-to-end. These two teams in particular have played a frustrating defensive style this year, and neither of them have gone with that so far in this game.
Well, as you said earlier, Evan, it's the weirdness of a 4-day break with lots of travel. These sorts of things happen where the unpredictable comes true.
Absolutely. Ojekwa, an opportunity on the counter here for Switchbacks.
There's a lot of room to navigate for Colorado Springs.
Sam Hamilton, Malcolm. Ojekwa making the run. It's Malcolm looking to turn the corner on McLaws. Cross in, Van Oekel catches it, runs into his own guy, but is able to cover on the ball. And Van Oekel and the player with whom he collided down, I believe that's Jordan Cano, the 22-year-old on loan from FC Dallas.
Yeah, I believe you're right, and that was a pretty gnarly collision between the two. And you see Van Oekel, ball clutched to his chest. Van Oekel is a big man, as we were discussing earlier. So Van Oekel will get a visit from the referee, Jose Lara.
We'll see the collision again. You hear
good cross from Malcolm after creating some space, and there's the collision, and it's right into the midsection of Cano, who I think took the worst of that.
When you look at the replay, the first thing you have to look for is if it was to the head. It doesn't look like it was. I think they avoided the worst there. Van Okel back up to his feet, as you see. He's been tested a couple of times tonight, but Colorado Springs have yet to put one on frame against him, though they've had a couple of really good opportunities. And this game, it's not nearly over despite the early goal from Alex Dixon. Rasmussen. Richard Dixon playing right back. Alex Dixon has come from his usual position on the left wing and is, or on the right wing, I should say, is playing on the left with the two Ahene in right wing tonight. And two switchbacks have switched their wingers. It's been a Jakwa on the left and Malcolm on the right, which is a change from what we're accustomed to seeing.
And so far, so good. The shape of the Colorado Springs attack has been extremely solid.
Yeah, Malcolm and Jakwa have caused tons of problems for this OKC defense. And I would say that Colorado Springs midfield has been the better of the two so far.
Agreed.
But you've just had that counterattacking explosiveness from the Energy has been the difference so far.
Well, since the OKC Energy goal, Colorado Springs has really settled into a rhythm now. They have controlled possession, and they, like we were talking about, the shape of the attack is good, but it's OKC Energy right now with the deserved 1-0 advantage.
Player down here for Switchbacks. We mentioned the Energy with 4 of their next 5 at home. That next one coming up on July 11th against Las Vegas Lights FC. That is a special 7 o'clock Central start due to the game airing nationally on ESPN News as the USL Game of the Week. For more info about becoming an Energy FC member, bringing a group to a match or single game tickets, call the Energy at 235-KICK. Rasmussen. Alex Dixon, the goal scorer. Looking for Richard Dixon, but Suggs intercepts. Here's Burt. Hamilton. Colorado Springs on the move. Plenty of the game left for Colorado Springs, and they've taken plenty of the game so far. Long ball to Jakwa. He stayed on. Working on Dixon. Jakwa goes down and gets a late whistle from Jose Lara. And this will be an inviting free kick for Colorado Springs.
I mean, it's an excellent ball across the field near to far, and then Jakwa doing what he does with his handle, and now a very dangerous set piece coming for Colorado Springs. That is good movement, and the USL is a league where you'll see a lot of long balls, but it'll be horizontally, and that was a perfect illustration of that right there, right on the feet of a Jakwa.
Well, we're not going to go that.
It's really been all but the finish so far for Switchbacks FC. I think they've been marvelous, except for the end product.
That was the story of the week from the Colorado Springs camp, was the buildup has been great, but can we find the back of the net?
Honestly, that's it. That's my ultimate goal.
Malcolm, Schweitzer, and it looks like Suggs around the ball for Colorado Springs. 5-man wall for OKC. They're expecting a shot on target here. Malcolm steps to it first.
Third place match is
Suggs coming in. It's Malcolm who hits it right into the wall. Hamilton playing wide. Schweitzer, former University of Denver man. Back to Suggs, but out for a Colorado Springs throw.
But again, putting the pressure on is Colorado Springs, and they are within a shot now total of OKC. Got to put them on the mark, though.
Throw in into the area, foul against Jamal Jack, pushing down Rasmussen from behind. And it'll be a free kick for Oklahoma City. This season is the 5th for Energy FC. To celebrate, join Energy FC in naming the 5th anniversary team. Walk down memory lane with us as we celebrate 5 strong seasons in OKC.
We mentioned those shots, Evan, with Colorado Springs now at 4. And 2 of those, though, the Malcolm glorious opportunity from just inside the area.
Oh, Burrell with a great move on Hunter. Slips it through. Here's Dixon. Cross in. Knocked away Jack with a huge tackle to prevent what would have been a sitter for Valesky and a 2-0 lead.
Jamal Jack, the savior again. And we were discussing the Colorado Springs opportunities they've missed. Jakwa and Malcolm. And now here, it all leads to another great chance for Oklahoma City. Look at Jack at the last moment, able to keep it from the runner on that far side.
Well, Hanlon and Hunter, who are the makeshift right side of this defense, got all crossed up there and had no idea how to deal with Burrell. Here's the first corner for OKC. Driven into nobody in particular. Hamilton pops it up. Man goes down in the box. Lara lets play go.
Boy, that got physical in there. The referee not interested, though, in making an impactful call like that in the 30th minute.
Burrill is fouled. Hamilton was with him the whole way. Let's take a look at this penalty shout again. First you had Hamilton pop the ball up, and then it's Becky there, and I don't see it.
Becky took a bit of a tumble there. Jamal Jack had every right to that ball.
Rasmussen on the free kick. He can try to swing one in here for the Energy. And they're going to pack the box. Philip Rasmussen, 3 assists this year, tied for the team lead. Had spent his entire career in Denmark before moving to the Energy last year at the age of 28. At the half-hour mark, OKC looked to double their lead. Popped up by Jack. And out to the right side for a throw-in.
Jamal Jack is so physical and so tough in the middle of that back four for Colorado Springs.
Hanlon trying to say that went off an Energy player. I don't see how it could have.
No. It definitely did not.
It is going to be a throw-in for Oklahoma City, and now whistles blow as the ball comes in. I think they're going to move where McLaws was standing a little bit farther towards the corner flag. Jose Lara, our head official tonight. OKC on the hunt for 2-0 as they look to extend their unbeaten run to 5 in a row. Burrill up for Valesky. Poiti comes out, collides with his own man. And nothing there on the other end of it for Callum Ross. A little bit of a miscommunication there for the Switchbacks, and OKC still keeping this play alive.
Yeah, you have to chat back there, and Poiti, that is on him to communicate that he's coming from behind on Jack. That could have been disastrous and nearly was for Colorado Springs.
Well, it fell for Callum Ross, the Newcastle, England native, who looked a little bit surprised that it had come to him, and he took sort of a wild smack at it and popped it straight back.
Well, we had discussed Poiti plays the keeper spot with conviction, and that nearly was his undoing in that situation. Jamal Jack should have been the one to play that, or Poiti needed to grab it.
Great little rotating play there with Atuahene and Dixon, but it's Atuahene who fouls Taylor Hunter. It is Hunter's 25th birthday today, and not exactly the present I think he was asking for there, as Atuahene got the boot to him, and that looked studs up to me in live action. It could have been a booking for Atuahene. They're going to have Hunter looked at here.
Atuahene is up. It looks like he's okay. Slight limp.
And they're going to take the hydration break here. And it looks like Atuahene is going into the book for this. Let's watch this challenge. Oh, that's a dangerous foul.
Extremely dangerous, and I think in some circumstances he's fortunate just to get the yellow.
I agree. It's a clear booking, and he will be lucky not to get more than that. I agree. So they'll take the hydration break here, and the 33rd minute, OKC ascending off the goal by Alex Dixon. Both teams, though, I think have looked pretty good. It's been a fun end-to-end game.
It absolutely has, and I think this hydration break comes at a good time for Colorado Springs as well. They responded very well to the OKC goal, had a couple of chances, but now OKC has started to settle in now more offensively, and Colorado Springs looking to get its legs back under it collectively. And there you see the injured Taylor Hunter, who's trying to walk it off, and he clutches at his right leg after that collision that led to the yellow for Atuahene. But back and forth we've gone, and it has been more end-to-end than we initially anticipated.
Certainly hasn't been the kind of bunker down game that you might have thought when you look at the offensive records of these two teams. They have opened it up, and they are looking to go out there and take 3 points tonight. And right now, Oklahoma City, boy, if they can get a result here to get within 4 points of the red line. If you look back as recently as the beginning of June. This team was 2-10-1 on June the 10th. And we could be sitting here and looking at this team 4 points out of the playoffs not even a month later.
I mean, it's an incredible bounce back. It's a story of belief. It's a story of just continuing to push forward. And then there's Colorado Springs, and while they have not been consistent, coming in at 7-9-3 so far on the 2018 campaign, it is good enough to, if the postseason started today, get them into the playoffs. So we keep discussing Colorado Springs as this team that has just not found itself, but it's done enough to put itself in a position to succeed. And for Colorado Springs, they right now are 2 points ahead of St. Louis, who are at Las Vegas tonight. San Antonio, who they're idle this weekend, and then Fresno, who visits Portland tomorrow evening. So Colorado Springs knows no scoreboard watching at this point. If they were to do so, just take care of business.
Jake trying to talk himself out of a booking from Jose Lara, who's given him a nice warning here. 10 minutes to stoppage time. OKC with the lead off the goal in the 16th minute. Baril to Alex Dixon for the opener for the Energy. And they have not really settled down at all since then. They've continued to attack the game. Here's some pressure on the ball by Colorado Springs. Van Oekel forced to pop it up. Down between Schweitzer and Ross. Finds its way back to Colorado Springs, and a nice ball through here, but nobody on the other end of it. Ajayqua pressuring Van Oekel again. So coming out of this hydration break now, that may be a little bit of a high press from Colorado Springs for the last 10 minutes of this half.
And after that hydration break, the field has tilted back towards Van Oekel's goal. And as we discussed, perhaps that was good timing for Colorado Springs as OKC had started to build some momentum again.
Colorado Springs building a nice stint of possession. Jack wanted Burt. Deflects off Rasmussen to Suggs. And Josh Suggs can't keep it in play. And OKC with a chance to get things going quickly here. Atua Hene throws for Valesky. Suggs with a good recovery run to play it out and get Switchbacks back in their shape. Atua Hene, for me, has been the most explosive player on the field. Despite that silly challenge that he had just before the break on Hunter that got him into the book, I think he's been marvelous tonight for the Energy.
I would agree with you. Atua Hene and Ajayqua on the other side for Colorado Springs, the two that are making the engines go for their respective side.
And Baril, too, for OKC, has had a couple of really nice through balls. Valesky looking to turn in Alex Dixon, nothing there. And play goes back to the OKC back line. A Mercy physician can keep you at the top of your game. Find your doctor at mercy.net/topgame. At Mercy, your life is our work. 8 minutes to added time. Evan West and Ken Levicka with you on the call here tonight. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of your Saturday evening with us from Taft Stadium in Oklahoma. The Energy looking to make it 5 in a row, unbeaten, and climb within 4 points of the red line, which is currently possessed by Colorado Springs.
It's funny, Evan, before the match, we were talking about the international lineup that Steve Cook had marched out tonight for OKC. You have Spain represented, you have Ghana represented, Jamaica, Canada, Denmark, and of course the USA. This is one of the more international rosters in the USL, and Steve Cook is trying to use everybody in it.
Cross in for Valesky. He was just behind it, and it's out for a corner. Good ball by McClaws. That's a couple of Americans combining. Edmond, Oklahoma, and Henderson, Virginia. Of course, you also have Ross on there, who's from England. What a big win for the Three Lions today, as they have the entire country just absolutely joyous over reaching a World Cup semifinal date that looks winnable in the midweek against Croatia.
Absolutely, and it's amazing that England find themselves in this spot with 6 Tottenham players when the golden generation couldn't even make this point for England.
They're a group that's just there to have fun, and it's gotten them to the semifinals. Here's Rasmussen. High cross, back post. Becky got a little under it. But I like the idea they're using the center forward Valesky to kind of open up the center back. They nearly pulled that off.
Yeah, Valesky, who's made dangerous runs to the far post all night there, used as a decoy. Becky, though, his momentum was just carrying him away from goal. He was never going to get enough on it to seriously challenge Poitiers, but I'm completely with you, Evan. The plan for that was in the right place, and we'll take a look at this again. And you see Becky, he sails it over the bar. And Cook, he knew he had something drawn up well, frustration for him, but overall he has to be happy with what his offense has shown.
We got a free kick here for Colorado Springs. If you saw the England game earlier, their first goal came on a very similar play on a corner by Harry Maguire, where Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling were used as decoys. Atuahene and Valesky playing those roles there. Cook himself, an Englishman from Sheffield. Did not play professionally, but came up as a youth coach with Sheffield Wednesday. Now of the English Championship, their second division, just as USL is in the United States. Atuahene off a long ball. Dispossessed cleanly by Carson Hanlon. And here's Schweitzer pushing for switchbacks. Hamilton. Malcolm went the wrong way. Tracks it back in the corner. McLaw's on him. 23 versus 23. Malcolm. Hamilton, Ajekwa.
Evan, in the middle of the pitch, in the midfield, and especially as they get to the attacking third, Colorado Springs has a lot of room to navigate.
They've been bossing it around. I think Schweitzer and Hamilton have been a solid pairing tonight. Hamilton on loan from Colorado Rapids. Schweitzer in his third club in 3 years. On a clean cross there by Becky. In comes Ajekwa. Ball in front, knocked off of Burt. And out for a goal kick. That wasn't dealt with by Becky originally, and it nearly led to a chance for Colorado Springs.
Yeah, Becky with a poor touch, and it went right back to Mabin, who was able to feed Ajekwa. That was a great through ball. Ajekwa decided he was going to try and pound it to Burt, and Burt just could not get his foot around on it, but that is good offense right there.
Jordan Burt, we talked about him early on in the broadcast, 13 goals. In the last 2 years, moving into the midfield, was originally a fullback. This is his 96th career appearance for Colorado Springs. He was on the inaugural roster in 2015. He was at Butler when the basketball team went to 2 straight national title games.
Now Brad Stevens arguably has the next Eastern Conference champions.
Funny how then in July we could predict the NBA playoffs 11 months later with almost systematic ease. That is not the case in USL.
Not at all.
The playoffs in this league saw the 1 seed in the West toppled by the 8 last year. Rasmussen demonstrative here as he felt that call went against him. And let's see if Rasmussen goes into the book for dissent here.
And he will, and he should, and that is not becoming of the player with the captain's armband.
He was infuriated by that call by Jose Lara, and as you said, a deserved yellow card for the Dane, Philip Rasmussen, his second booking of the year.
Let's see what he's ultimately upset about here. So the foul is called.
So he's angry because Jack had the studs up there on Atuahene. That's why he's upset. I think the call is on Atuahene going low and clipping Jack. That's really a 50-50 call there. Oh, wow, header on, but wide off a brilliant ball in. It was Bird who tried to put it on frame. Colorado Springs looking to catch everybody napping there.
Yeah, that seemingly came out of nowhere, and Burt just an inch away off his head from putting that on frame. And while Rasmussen is still protesting, and while the OKC side is still protesting, Colorado Springs decides to attack. That is a great ball.
That is phenomenal stuff from Hanlon, who, as we mentioned earlier, he's not even a right back by trade. OKC can't get anything off the long ball. Rasmussen will try to get something started here. Some light pressure from Dixon. And knocked back down. Valesky chasing after it. Poitiers comes out and handles it. Good decision by Moise Poitiers. He pretty much had to do that or Valesky was going to have an open shot on him.
And Valesky saw Poitiers coming too and checked up just a bit, and that's how Poitiers was able to get there first. Valesky, though, floats. He is a good runner, and he gets himself to the post extremely well, but Valesky also finds himself generally at the right place at the right time. It's why he was sought after by OKC, because Valesky was one of the more potent weapons that St. Louis had. A St. Louis squad that's resurgent as well after a rough start to the season. Valesky fits in well with Oklahoma City because he sits and he waits and he's able to take everything in and then finds himself with the ball at his feet.
Acquired in a trade from St. Louis back on May the 8th.
I'd almost say Valesky is one of the more underappreciated attackers in the USL.
Well, and since he's come into the side, Oklahoma City have been better. I mean, it's just a fact. Dixon looking to play him through, but Valesky a little bit behind it, and Quati handles. They also added Atiba Harris, who's a MLS veteran of almost 300 games in the top flight. They signed him last week. He should be able to come into the side fairly soon. The veteran of St. Kitts and Nevis, who is the captain of that Island Nations national team. So reinforcements are further on the way for Oklahoma City. And again, you're looking at this result here. If they can hold on to 3 here and get within 4 of the red line, I mean, season on for Oklahoma City.
Oh, without question. And you have a handful of home games still to come in the next 3 weeks as well.
4 of their next 5 of 7 at home. Malcolm couldn't get free. It's right to Van Oekel. We're looking at 3 minutes of added time here at Taft Stadium. The hydration break will lock 2 in right away. The 4th official right there, Seth Barton, just had a 4 up on that. And I think we picked him up saying,
yeah.
Oh, come on, man,
Come
there's
on.
the 3.
He figured it out.
So 3 minutes added on.
The way this match is going, how back and forth we've been, I wouldn't mind that extra minute of added time.
Schweitzer. Given away, Ross. Up the pitch for Valesky. Christian Valesky giving Jack problems, but it's last touched by the OKC man. And a throw in for the Switchbacks. Colorado Springs, not too much created over the last few minutes, over just a couple of well-placed long balls, but nothing across from them. OKC, I think, have been, if not substantially, but I think deserving their lead here as we near the halftime break.
Well, we were curious about the right side of the back 4 for OKC. Cano and Dixon, those two not generally stalwarts on the back 4, and they've done a formidable job, and they have settled in. Colorado Springs has certainly had their chances, their opportunities, and some glorious ones that they have put off the mark. But for the most part, OKC's been good defensively.
Cano in particular, a guy that FC Dallas are really high on. They signed him as a homegrown player. They didn't even let him get to the draft. Coming out of Southern Methodist, where he was the American Conference Defender of the Year this past fall. Here's Bird as he was offside. I think he knew it too. And that means
no protest.
OKC might get the final crack at it in this first half. Reminder that the Energy FC Gold Card is a benefit for season seat members that earns them discounts at several metro area locations like Fandango, Fit Spa, and Supermercado Morelos. To learn more, visit energyfc.com/gold. Van Oekel with a long ball, a very long ball that finds the head of Hanlon. Schweitzer flicks it right to Barrel. And Jose Barril plays it back for McLaws and into the midfield for Rasmussen. Dixon, handball.
You can see it come off his foot and clip him in the hand, and it's too bad because Valesky was even with the back line and looked like he was onside.
Could have been a one-touch and in for Christian Valesky. Long ball, Malcolm can't catch up to it. Switchbacks do appear to be a bit fatigued here as we near the end of the first half, and that's something that when you have 16 healthy guys and dropping over the weeks, it's just so difficult. And Colorado Springs, they're going to have to figure something out here in terms of personnel, because with the injuries that they have right now, they're going to have games where they just cannot stay with it. As we go into the second half, and they come into halftime trailing. Alex Dixon in the 16th minute, the go-ahead goal for Oklahoma City Energy. They are on their way to a 5th straight with points, and 4th out of 5 with 3 points if they can hang on to this lead.
And if they play similarly in the final 45 than they did in the first 45, they will certainly at least have a point in the table. For Colorado Springs, though, they have had their chances. They have put pressure on Matt Van Oekel. They need to find the back of the net, though.
OKC Energy with a 1-0 lead at halftime. A win here would put them within 4 points of Colorado Springs for 8th place in the Western Conference with half a season to go. They looked dead in the water a month ago. They have roared back to life here at Taft Stadium. Coming up on halftime, we'll get a look at OKC's 5th anniversary celebration, as well as highlight stats and a look around USL. Stick with us. It's OKC Energy 1, Colorado Springs Switchbacks 0 at the break.
In Ireland, the first Sisters of Mercy were called the Walking Sisters because every day they went out in search of women and children who needed healing or help. Mercy continues to answer the same call, dedicated to the health of every woman who comes to us for care. Mercy, in every era, your life is our life's work. Learn why we serve at mercy.net/legacy.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on, with payment options and everything else? Nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
Before the celebration, before the projections. Wait, those are the projections? Before you changed course. Again. Before the late nights, long shots, and leaps of faith. Before it was a startup, it was just an idea. And then everything changed. Cox Business. We're making the connections that change everything.
OKC Energy with a 1-0 lead over Colorado Springs. Alex Dixon in the 16th minute with the only goal in this one. Energy FC is celebrating its 5th anniversary season by looking back at some of the most memorable plays and players. Energy FC digital reporter Brent Skarkey shares with us the players that are part of the process, the voting process, and how fans can get involved.
Time flies when you're getting your kicks. It's hard to believe, but the Energy FC is in the midst of its 5th season. Over the years, OKC fans have seen some great matches, great plays, great players on the pitch. Now it's time to name your favorites. Log on to Energy FC and cast your ballot. Vote for your favorite forwards, the most magnificent midfielders, the dominant defenders, and the most glorious goalkeepers.
Letting the other team know that if they were going to beat us, any of us, it was going to have to be perfection.
Along the way, relive some of the greatest moments in green.
I believe it is Michael Thomas!
It honestly is a moment that I can talk about for forever. And it sticks in my mind, and I remember it just like it was yesterday.
Vote now and put your name in the mix for some awesome 5-year gear, signed boots, kits, gloves from your favorite all-time Energy members.
Extremely proud, extremely proud.
So go to energyfc.com/5-year and make your voice heard for the best of the first 5. For Energy FC TV, I'm Brent Skarkey.
OKC Energy with a 1-0 lead as the kids take the pitch here for a little halftime fun. While we're at it, let's have a look around the USL in Week 16, and we'll get you the best of this past week's action.
Hey, you trying to lob all the way! Oh, he made up for it in the most incredible of fashions! Oh, come on! Lancaster! Cameron Lancaster! A dream of a goal!
Yeats inside the area, it's Hamilton! What a finish! Jordan Hamilton! What a strike!
Depersky getting in behind.
That ball from Mirkovic, and what an incredible goal from Perisky! Cordell Cato, oh my goodness, what a finish! Across the middle, Obanawi with the insurance goal, there it is! McInerney, good looking ball, Jack McInerney! Dixon back in, flicked on, Krisnenko!
Brody inside the 18, Brody shot and a goal! Andrew Brody puts the Monarchs ahead in the 8th minute of play.
This one sent in. Great effort! Tampa Bay equalized in the 90th. It's Damo Duro in his rowdy debut. Obi steps in. Obi shooting! Saved by Lynn! He protected the 2 points!
Looking overlap here on the cross, falling in, and beautifully saved.
Stepping forward, header is saved! Von Williams just barely knocking it away from Doyle.
Brandon Allen! Garces kept it out.
Here comes Fresno. Cooper!
Save keeper.
Cohen gets in behind. Francois off of Ranjitsing. Francois again. Ranjitsing slaps it away. Lofted over the back line and saved by Pickens as he dives aside.
Halftime here at Taft Stadium, Oklahoma City and Colorado Springs. Well, we've got a minute. Let's take a look around the league in our USL news and notes. And as it's getting hotter, the offense has been coming a little bit faster too, Ken. 38 goals on just one Saturday. We had over 200 in the month of June.
Yeah, this offense in the USL has really picked up. A lot of entertaining matches, some glorious goals as well. This has been some great action for the last several months.
Meanwhile, as we look towards the Eastern Conference, Louisville City, they have not won in their last 5. That did not stop their head coach from getting a promotion. James O'Connor hired to replace Jason Christ with Orlando City in MLS. And Louisville City sending him off with an exhilarating 3-3 draw against New York Red Bulls 2 that had one of the wildest goals that I have seen this year.
And speaking of wild, Evan, Louisville City now is going with 3 player coaches in O'Connor's stead: George Davis, Paulo Del Piccolo, and Luke Spencer. So that'll be fascinating to watch.
Absolutely love that. Let him play and coach. That's fantastic. And, of course, next year we look forward to the USL Division 3. TFC 2 becoming the 5th club to join. Lots of announcements still to come about the new project in the United Soccer League. Let's have a look at the upcoming schedule over the next few days. Seattle and Reno, and then a big game in the West in terms of playoff position. 2 of them, actually. Portland hosting Fresno, who sit just 2 points behind Colorado Springs for the 8th spot in the West. And a game that would be a playoff matchup right now, the 3-6 game between Swope Park and Sacramento. And if you see at the bottom of the screen, Energy fans, Oklahoma City is on national television on Wednesday night. That is a special 7 o'clock start, not 7:30, and that's against Las Vegas Lights on ESPN News. As we take a look at the game of the week schedule, Colorado Springs fans, we've got you covered too. You're on the U against San Antonio FC on July 25th. That'll be 7 o'clock Mountain and 9 p.m. Eastern.
FC Cincinnati, Charlotte Independent. That right there. Two teams in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. Obviously, Cincinnati top of the table in the Eastern Conference. That is going to be a great matchup on July 18th.
Charlotte sitting 8th on goal differential at the moment over Penn FC, so another potential playoff preview with that one. When we come back, we'll get you the highlights and the stats as we recap the first half. Oklahoma City and Colorado Springs right here on ESPN+.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
When that hurricane hit, the entire community came together as a whole. It was such an overwhelming response to help others. No one thought that they were going to do this before it happened, and everyone just did it. I think that's the way that human nature should be looked at.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you.
In Ireland, the first Sisters of Mercy were called the Walking Sisters because every day they went out in search of women and children who needed healing or help. Mercy continues to answer the same call, dedicated to the health of every woman who comes to us for care. Mercy, in every era, your life is our life's work. Learn why we serve at mercy.net/legacy.
Oklahoma City Energy with a 1-0 lead over Colorado Springs at the break. Evan West and Ken Levicka with you here at halftime. And Ken, let's get into the highlights of this one. And there were plenty. This was a fun back and forth game. We weren't expecting this to be so up-tempo, but it really did, right from the get-go, have a feeling of a big end-to-end match.
Yeah, right off the jump, you see Valesky here, and Valesky had the first opportunity of the match, pushes it to his right foot, and then just sends it wide, and that was a precursor of things to come, because OKC, in the first 20 minutes, peppered Colorado Springs net.
Yeah, Poitiers never really had a chance to get comfortable, neither did Van Oekel, as it was the Switchbacks getting just as much of their end of the field. They just had an issue putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, Malcolm may have wanted to give that a shot off his head at goal. Instead, he played it back, and it sent long. And then OKC pounced on the other end.
Yeah, well, it was first a Tuahene trying to get Rasmussen, who had that little back heel. Then finally, things coalesced for OKC. This is all in the first 15 minutes of the match, by the way, what we're showing you here. And finally, OKC were able to get their goal. Burrell to Dixon for the opener.
Yeah, turnover on the midfield, and then Burrell splits defenders. Look at this feed to Dixon, left foot to left foot. Dixon, a good first touch, and then he beats Poitiers. Nearly 5-hole, and it was 1-0 OKC. In fact, it was 5-hole, and that was deserved.
Right through the wickets. But you look at how much time Dixon had that he could even touch it to himself in that spot.
And then
this was the best chance of the half for Colorado Springs, and Shane Malcolm missed it just a touch high.
He needs to finish that. Van Oekel was ranging to his left, and instead he puts it over the bar. And you look at the match stats.
Yeah, look how even we were in that first half. In possession, shots are the same. The only shot on target in the game so far was Dixon's go-ahead goal. And Ken, if you're Colorado Springs, you've got to feel a little hard done by this, because they had some real opportunities in that first half.
Absolutely, but you can't feel hard luck. Your issue being down 1-0 was self-inflicted, and The fact that you have not come level is self-inflicted, but you know that you have had opportunities all over the place. Ajekwa, Malcolm with 2 chances to find the back of the net. They can easily draw this even.
We have a substitute at the halftime break for Colorado Springs, and an unfortunate one. Taylor Hunter, we saw him go down with an injury at the hydration break on that challenge by Atua Hene. He has had to be subbed out here. So Hunter, on his birthday, will have to come out at halftime, and yet another defender goes down with an injury for Colorado Springs after Ibusi got hurt on Tuesday night. Saeed Robinson, who is a forward, has come into the group for Colorado Springs, and I'm very curious to see what exactly the Switchbacks decide to do here in terms of putting together a back line, because they're pretty much out of players.
Yeah, Robinson generally a pretty integral part of Colorado Springs' attack. He had the best opportunity in the second half in the loss on Wednesday. So you're right, this will be fascinating to see how this works tactically.
We'll be watching to see what exactly the formation will be here.
But Colorado Springs cannot catch a break from a health standpoint. They were already extremely short-handed with not a whole lot available to them, and their issues just continue to get worse.
Here's Malcolm. And here is Saeed Robinson, 27 years old, from Portmore, Jamaica. In his 68th career appearance for the Switchbacks.
So no doubt he is pushing forward.
Atua Hene dribbles out. So if we take a look here, I believe Schweitzer is holding back a little bit farther. I think Hamilton will probably sit a little bit deeper as well. An option they could have here is to play Jack as a sweeper. But again, that we're even talking about that, you know, is a symptom of just how desperate the personnel situation is getting for Colorado Springs.
And you are right. It looks like Schweitzer is staying back for now.
Here's a Ajekwa for Colorado Springs. Baril, with a little help from Callum Ross, dispossesses him.
If anything, this is going to force Colorado Springs, though, into constant attack.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive. You can see Schweitzer is sitting farther back of Hamilton, whereas they were really a 2-man pivot in the first half. Robinson to the middle for Ajekwa, and then Malcolm. They're both around the ball. It's out to Hamilton, squeezing through Malcolm into the area. Malcolm left foot. Malcolm scores!
Well, it was his 3rd opportunity of the night where Malcolm finally is able to finish. He did not have the greatest first touch, but he stuck with it. He found himself point blank with one of the best keepers in the USL and chipped it right over him. Colorado Springs with the tactical change, their whole offense right now, and it pays off.
Well, this play was so odd the way it started. We kind of furrowed our brows, but it was to release Malcolm right through the middle. And that's a clinical finish.
And Malcolm just shed Richard Dixon outside of the 6-yard box. And this is a class finish on Van Oekel. Not only is Malcolm head-to-head with a top 5 keeper in the USL, but he's falling away from goal at a tough angle, and he made it look easy. He had his opportunities in the first half, and here, right at the jump in the second half, he pulls his team level. What an inspiring play from Malcolm.
3rd goal of the year for Shane Malcolm, who runs the other direction as Atua Hene put one on frame, but it was stopped comfortably by Moise Poite.
Boy, would that have been deflating for Colorado Springs if just moments later they let Atua Hene completely unharassed get in on their goalkeeper. But it is hard to overstate how huge that sequence was for Colorado Springs. You, Evan, and myself for the first minute and a half of the second half as Van Oekel. I'm not sure what happened there, and then he took a shot.
He's trying to earn a foul here. Lara is stopping play. Ajekwa expressing his disapproval. Van Oekel just shanked that goal kick.
Yeah, Van Oekel might have caught his cleat in the turf.
I wonder if this is a non-contact injury here for Van Oekel, who has played every minute this year for OKC. Let's watch this here. Here's the back pass. And yeah, that's his left foot gets caught in the turf.
Yep, and then he clutches at his right calf. And remember, too, and this is unrelated most likely, but Van Oekel in that collision with Cano on that cross in the first half as well. He's taken a beating tonight, and now the trainer is out to help him. And you wonder what this means for OKC and a team flying high after 45. Not only have they given up the equalizer in the opening moments of the second half, but now their veteran keeper, their stalwart in the back, a non-contact injury.
Brian Byers is the backup keeper. Let's see the goal one more time. This is Malcolm, who just, it's a phenomenal finish. There's not much that Cano did wrong there.
No.
You just have to keep, you can't challenge him. You just have to keep him in front of you.
Well, once Dixon whiffed, though, Cano was having to scramble to recover to stay with Malcolm, and Malcolm had created enough room. And by that point, it was all up to Van Oekel, and Malcolm, we saw what happened there, chipping it over his outstretched arm. It's the moment we talked about with this right side of the defense, Evan. We mentioned it in the first half. How are they going to hold up? They generally don't play with one another back there in the defensive line of OKC, and in that moment they did fail. And Van Oekel does not look like he's in any shape to continue. He is ginger, and he is going to have to be helped off the pitch, it appears.
They're warming up Brian Byers.
Boy, oh boy.
26-year-old who was the backup for Oklahoma City back in 2015. He spent the following year with Rayo OKC of the NASL, then was with the Tulsa Roughnecks last year. He has spent his entire life in Oklahoma and has never played outside of the state. And Brian Byers appears as if he's going to have a chance to play for the first time this year for OKC. He spent his collegiate years at the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, USAO. Van Oekel going to the tunnel here.
And not only do you lose Van Oekel and Byers comes in goal, but you also, if you're Steve Cook, that changes your substitution pattern as well in what is now an even 1-1 game.
And so OKC loses sub. Brian Byers comes on for Matt Van Oekel. And if the Oklahoma City native can come through and hang on for Oklahoma City here. But you're right, they lose a sub with Van Oekel having to go off. So both teams down to 2 reserves left as Byers is forced to come on. A non-contact injury to the left leg for Matt Van Oekel.
And if I'm OKC, I pepper the net, shoot from distance.
Well, might be Colorado Springs. It couldn't get free between Ajekwa and Mabin. And here's a long ball for Valesky. He's running down Jack. Valesky putting on the pressure, but Poitier gets it away as Jack kind of stepped the whole way.
I just feel like if you're Colorado Springs right now, you make Byers work.
Giveaway in a bad area. Robinson for Colorado Springs. Headed down towards the corner. It's Mabin. Mabin shot from distance. Byers with a huge save. His first test of the year. And Brian Byers with an outstanding stop.
And that was destined for goal. What an effort from at least 25 yards. But an even better save from Byers, who comes in cold and does that. That was remarkable.
The context makes it even more remarkable. That is an astonishing play by Brian Byers, fresh off the bench, his first action all season, and he saves what might be the best shot of that young man's life. Martin Mabin robbed. Corner header by Jack. Goal kick, Oklahoma City.
Well, I said Colorado Springs should test Byers, even if it's from distance. Sure enough, they do it. And I don't think anybody saw that save from Byers coming. What a way to get broken into the game. And if you, on your first attempt, make a save like that, imagine what he's feeling now, the confidence. That will immediately settle you in. Man, was that a majestic save.
Showing off the leg as well, Brian Byers.
Man, that is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
That's the save of the week in the USL.
Yeah,
What's beating that?
That's an outstanding play. Jack is down here.
Now, that would be huge for Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I mean, they already lost Hunter. They lost Ibusi last Tuesday. Jack is their only center back left. And they just cannot afford to see him come off. And the good news for the Switchbacks is that Jack is able to get himself back to his feet.
Well, yeah, both coaches now that have their substitution patterns completely derailed by injury. You had Colorado Springs coming out of the locker room, losing Hunter, who was injured in the first half, and putting in Saeed Robinson, who generally attacks goal in the back four, who's pushed up in the formation. And then you have OKC losing their keeper in Van Okel.
OKC looking to get the lead back. Valesky goes down. They say clean challenge by Jamal Jack.
Yeah, I didn't see any issue with that whatsoever.
Would agree. Ross. Dixon loses it. Ryan Byers, the Oklahoma City native, making his debut for the team in 2018 with an absolutely incredible save after the injury by Van Okel. You have Mabin robbed of his second goal. That was a fantastic shot by the man out of Northern Ireland.
Oh, if that finds the back of the net, that's the goal of the week in the USL.
Yep.
And instead, it's met by the save of the week by a guy who had been in the match for about 20 seconds.
It's been all Colorado Springs here in the second half, though.
No doubt.
That's the bottom line. Since they lost Hunter, it seems as if they've been rejuvenated. Here's a ball in for Robinson. Nice play by Richard Dixon. Turns it away. And as we see now, by the way, just want to point this out, Ken, Jordan Burt has pushed back to the defense.
Right.
So that's really the change that they've made now. You see Burt has come in and playing center back from where he was in a number 10 role. Atuahene, great play off the chest. The shout is handball, and they finally call it. Atuahene says, that's my shoulder. Eric Wood says, sorry, buddy, that's your upper arm. We're going the other way.
So Colorado Springs, you have Robinson now, who came in along the back line, but he's clearly playing up and he's in the attack.
Yeah.
You saw him alongside Malcolm in that last sequence. We were discussing before the Colorado Springs goal that Schweitzer was the player in midfield that was staying back defensively as the buffer between a possible counterattack and his goal. So now, obviously, as you mentioned, Evan, Jordan Burt is playing back, but you only have 3 players that are comfortably, consistently playing defense on the field right now for Colorado Springs, because Jordan Burt, while by trade he's on defense, he's been playing more as someone who comes towards goal.
He's also a fullback. He is not an inside back.
Nope, not at all.
He's a guy who plays and loves to get forward. That's why he was so easily transitioned into that midfield role. This will either be it looks like a deep throw-in for Oklahoma City.
And it presents a situation now where Colorado Springs has to ensure that it's pretty consistently in the second half on the front foot, because they don't have much in the way of keeping OKC from their goal.
But we saw that OKC consistently exploited the left side of that defense. So the job for the Switchbacks now is to just hang on to the ball.
Absolutely. And with this lineup, though, they can.
No, absolutely. Here's a Jaquia. Cutting inside onto the right foot. He's releasing Malcolm. Byers coming out. Byers snatches it, but lost the ball, and it's out for a corner.
I like it, though. If you're Byers, he had to make a decision, retreat because Malcolm was at a tough angle, or with conviction come out and challenge, and he did the right thing even though he lost control and it led to a corner. That was the right decision.
Better that than a shot on target.
Without question.
So Suggs is going to take the corner for Colorado Springs, as he will almost always do from the left side. And let's see here if Colorado Springs tries to get Jamal Jack involved, the big guy. Suggs, back post. It's knocked down by Burt. Pushed away from Hamilton. Malcolm comes back in, and it's deflected out by a Colorado Springs player for a goal kick.
Malcolm is becoming a big problem for OKC. He is unmarked. He is running free right now.
Look much livelier here in the second half. Malcolm has heritage from the island of Guam through his paternal grandfather. He's been capped 20 times for Guam. He was born in Jamaica, moved to South Florida at the age of 9, and grew up in Lauderhill, just outside Miami. Attended High Point University. He's played all over the world professionally. Has found a good home here at Colorado Springs. He had the equalizer for the Switchbacks just a couple of minutes into this second half. Officially a 48th minute goal. It came at about 47:01 for Shane Malcolm.
An inspired Colorado Springs effort out of the half.
A team effort. It was a team goal, to be sure. Assist given to Hamilton, but Ajekwa was just as important on that play. Here's a long ball through, looking for Mabin. Nice play by Cano. The FC Dallas Academy man runs it down. Dixon. McClaws. And OKC, they just trying to settle in with a little possession as we cross 15 minutes of the second half, with Colorado Springs having equalized.
Yeah, there is no plan right now offensively for OKC.
Baril to Rasmussen. This is good. Oh, then a play into no man's land, recovered by Alex Dixon. And to Richard Dixon, no relation. Dixon charging through. Richard Dixon, oh, he might have had his shot there. He tried to lay off to Valesky, and it was played out for a throw.
Well, you saw who Dixon absolutely motored by, and that was Seed Robinson, who is very out of position right now, playing in the back four.
Robinson coming down from his winger spot to help defend on the left side with Suggs.
He does not look comfortable back there.
He's really playing as a wing back right now. Suggs is still the left back, so he's not completely on the defensive line, but he's not all the way. I mean, he's a center forward by trade, and he is not up close to the top of this formation.
And you'll see Robinson completely flat-footed, left in the dust before the clearance came in the box. So you're right, he is not playing a stalwart back four right now, but he's certainly being depended upon more defensively than he usually is.
You see how far down he is. He's a guy who is traditionally a striker on this team. He and Mabin have alternated at that number 9 spot. Baril, decent spacing here. Jack backing down. There's a foul on Baril.
That is so good from Jack. He is so quick despite his bulky frame, and he got over there and completely derailed Baril and then forced the foul as well. He is very, very swift. Not to mention physical, as we saw multiple times in the first half.
This is good from Oklahoma City, though, Ken. They're getting a little bit of possession. They're finding their way back into the game after that shocking start to the half. They've recovered somewhat here. Atuahene making one of those explosive runs. He's putting Puati under pressure, and it's out for a throw. It's a nice job by Francis Atuahene.
Like we talked about when Byers entered for OKC as the goalkeeper, you want to put pressure on him. OKC with a sort of makeshift back line now for Colorado Springs. Make some runs, make them work, catch them out of position. It doesn't have to be fully organized. And there you see Van Oekel, whose night is done, and he is still angry.
It's good to see him out of the dressing room and back out onto the sideline, though, I'll say that. He is not thrilled, I'm sure, about not being in that match, but you hope for Oklahoma City that he has avoided the worst.
You just worry with those non-contact because you're talking something muscular as opposed to cosmetic, and those generally tend to linger, and I think part of his frustration visibly is that he knows could be a while.
Alex Dixon, it's a foot race with Jack and Baril, and Jamal Jack, what a shift he has put in tonight. He's played almost every minute this year for Colorado Springs. 20 starts in 20 games. He's just an absolute motorboat for the Switchbacks at that center back position.
Rare mistake there from Jack.
Yeah, he let Baril get through. Burt, the fullback turned midfielder turned emergency center back, plays it out for a throw for the Energy.
And he did get beat to that ball. Baril beat Burt one-on-one. Burt's got to be a little more physical back there. But that speaks to him not being all that comfortable in that spot.
Atuahene trying to touch it down. Header Robinson with some good defense. And Saeed Robinson starts the counter. Ajekwa, Malcolm making the run down the right. It goes out to the Guam International. And Malcolm back to Ajekwa as OKC get back on defense. Sam Hamilton, the lone E from Colorado Rapids. Out wide for Robinson. It comes back to Hamilton. Nearly 20 minutes into this second half. Colorado Springs equalizing just a couple of minutes after the opening whistle, after Alex Dixon scored in the first half.
And now Burt comes up in the attack.
Jakwa went down briefly. It's out to Dixon. Callum Ross looking to feed it through, and nobody on the other end as Burt settles it down to Poitiers.
We talked about the inspired start to the second half for Colorado Springs, and think about it, if it's not for Brian Byers, his first save of the season being a glorious all-world save, it should be, and in most any other situation, it would be 2-1 Colorado Springs right now.
It was a glorious shot, too, by Martin Maben, who has to feel hard done by the fact that he didn't score what would have been one of the best goals of the year in the USL.
Yeah, absolutely. I said the goal of the week.
Yeah.
It would have been one of the goals of the year. He was absolutely robbed.
Here he is on the ball against McLaws. Colorado Springs looking for their second straight road victory. They won in Portland 4-1 back on the 17th of June. That was their last road game. The one before that, they lost 4-1 in Las Vegas at the beginning of the month. Road victories have been hard to come by for Colorado Springs, but it would solidify their position big time if they could grab 3 points tonight. As it stands, the team splitting the spoils. There's a distant shot from Robinson, blocked easily by Rasmussen.
Rasmussen is not happy either.
He was furious with Jose Lara, the referee, in the first half, earned himself a yellow card for dissent.
And I think what Rasmussen's upset about is there was a ton of room for Robinson to survey and then to line it up.
Maben misses well high this time. No magic from Maben on that one. And it'll be an easy goal kick for Byers. Energy FC wants to help your soccer player keep their skills sharp this summer during a 3-day camp. 2 general skills camps are available that are staffed by Energy FC players and technical staff. To learn more, visit energyfc.com/camps. Evan West and Ken Levicka bringing it to you from Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City. The Energy got the first goal. Colorado Springs equalizing just after halftime. 1-1. As OKC looked to make it 5 in a row unbeaten. Colorado Springs looking to stay above the red line in the Western Conference. There's a ton on the line in this one.
There sure is. And we've seen a half's worth of action in the opening 20 minutes of this second half.
It's been end-to-end. We've seen a couple of players in the defensive end for both teams go off to injury, including the goalkeeper, Matt Van Oekel, for Oklahoma City. Brian Byers making a season debut as the emergency substitution, who made an absolutely phenomenal stop just minutes into his shift on Martin Maben.
And you just hope now the change substitution patterns with unexpectedly both coaches down to 2 doesn't mean that because you have to wait later and later to make them, fatigue sets in and we see the flow of this match shut down a bit, because this has been entertaining and free-flowing.
Schweitzer with a left foot. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot there, as he tried to just kind of get it into a dangerous area, but it was blocked comfortably. Here's Suggs. Lays off Robinson. Chance to swing one in. No switchbacks in the area. Cano heads away.
I think you want to keep it on the right side if you're Colorado Springs. Keep Malcolm in the attack. And there he is.
Malcolm coming in from the right. Cross in. Robinson with space. A heavy touch. Cost him an opportunity and a potential counter. Short-circuited by Jordan Schweitzer. That's a nice play from the former University of Denver man. Played last year with Orlando City B, the year before that with Seattle Sounders 2. This is first year with an independent USL club.
Jakwa has, for the most part now, been taken out of this match by OKC. And that's what has allowed Malcolm to become such a prominent presence now, but Jakwa also looks a bit tired for Colorado Springs. You wonder if he lasts the full 90.
Goal kick ends up with OKC. Dixon, cross in. Valesky just behind it. And it rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick. Supermercado Morelos is a proud partner of Energy FC. Get your grocery shopping done and buy your tickets to the next Energy FC home match at Supermercado Morelos stores on Southwest 59th in Santa Fe and Northwest 50th in Meridian. You see the shots in this second half. Colorado Springs has been dominant since halftime. They really have proven why they are in the playoff picture in the Western Conference at the moment. They seem to get better offensively once Robinson came in for Taylor Hunter due to that injury.
Yeah, 2 of those shots on goal. One found the back of the net, and the other was a remarkable save from the backup OKC goalkeeper, Brian Byers. 6 shots on goal already for Colorado Springs, and that matches their first half total.
Good takeaway by the midfielder Ross. See if OKC can get something going here as we near 20 minutes to go. Score around the league. Tulsa Roughnecks minus 21 goal differential in last place in the conference. 0-0 with Rio Grande Valley, who have had a plethora, we'll say, of draws this season as they sit well below the red line.
That would be number 11 if that score line holds. It's great to get points in the table, but certainly at some point you need more than just the single point.
Well, their seasons are tenuous at the moment, to be sure.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City was right there with them just a few weeks ago, and they've managed to earn 10 points in 4 to get themselves back in the conversation.
And RGV was a team that OKC right here at Taft Stadium really took the hammer to as part of this 4-game unbeaten streak.
Malcolm now on the left. A lot of switching here from the Switchbacks. They get tangled up. They call the foul on Malcolm.
It was a nice defensive effort for
Richard
OKC.
Dixon, yeah, the Jamaican.
That's in this second half, rare physical nature. This has just been back and forth, touchline to touchline, end line to end line. We haven't seen a lot of bodies collide.
Yeah, we thought this might be a bit of a grinder. And we've had 2 injuries, but one was non-contact and one was on a extra challenge, we'll say. You know, this has been end-to-end high-flying action. It's just, it's a testament to the way that the league is just getting better. The quality of play in USL, in American soccer, is so high right now, and it just keeps improving. Look at this from Alex Dixon. Cross back, Atuahene with tons of space. He shanked it well wide, and I'm not sure it even reached the penalty spot going out to the left side.
Boy, it is rare that you're going to see someone mishit it as badly as Atuahene did. Dixon with the burners on. This was a good enough pass, though I'm not sure Atuahene was the initial target. I think he wanted Valesky, but Atuahene, boy, and he's still affected by it, and he should be. That was really poor.
I mean, he had time to touch it to himself and shoot. The one-timer's fine, but wow, I mean, that missed by...
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can even call it a shot, the way that it dribbled off so sadly to the far touchline.
Also, Atuahene's such a good player.
No, he's been remarkable tonight. That's the other thing. You just don't expect that from him.
I think the hands-on head for him is more out of embarrassment than anything else.
I mean, and we know how talented he is. He was the 4th overall pick in the MLS draft, for goodness sake.
But when you talk about a shot dribbling at the end, it's usually not good.
Well, here's a Jaquaa. He's offside. We'll have a substitution for Oklahoma City, and Atuahene's night is over. That will be his last action of the game. He's on a yellow card. I imagine that's the reason why he is on his way out. Jaime Cia Romero coming on for Oklahoma City. Cia, 22 years old, out of Madrid, who spent a brief time at the Real Madrid Academy. Moved to North Carolina to play his college ball at Pfeiffer University. Spent last year with Charlotte Independence before joining Oklahoma City this past offseason.
Cia had been in the starting 11 at the last 2 matches, has come off the bench for OKC, but he has started to play much better since he went on international break with Jordan. He was able to score in one of those matches and came back to OKC, someone who was seeking the net. And Steve Cook even mentioned, hey, that goal he scored at the international level in the friendlies, leading into the World Cup did an awful lot for him, and now Sia with a chance to be a difference maker.
Jaime Sia, 3 goals this year in USL in 16 games, 8 starts. So coming off the bench for the 9th time, as I do just the bare minimum of math on this podcast.
And that's what we're both capable of.
We did not go to school for it. Dixon with a cross in, back post over the head of Sia, who had a quarter chance there, but well defended by Carson Hanlon. That'll be a throw for Colorado Springs. As it stands, the teams to split the spoils. 1 more sub for Oklahoma City, 2 more for Colorado Springs. You would think Toby Uzo will come on at some point. They really don't have too many options.
No.
Only 3 outfield players on the bench at the moment. The other 2 were Uriel Macias, the young midfielder from Indiana, and Taesung Kim out of South Korea. Both deeper lying players than Toby Uzo is. He's a straightforward 6'4" out of Nigeria. He would likely come on for Mabin, I would think. Here's Baril with a great takeaway. Here's Jose Baril, lays it off. Valesky, keeper comes out. Valesky not quite by him. Pass back, cross in, played out by Colorado Springs.
Sia had his head down, and I'm not sure he knew exactly where the keeper was.
Dixon took a prayer from deep, and it was blocked. That was very nearly a go-ahead goal late for Oklahoma City. Right as we cross the 75-minute mark, the last 15 to 20 minutes of games in the USL, particularly in the month of June, we mentioned it at halftime, have just been wild. And I would expect some fireworks near the end of this one as well.
I think if Sia had his head up, he may have gone for goal.
Dixon couldn't find Valesky, well screened by Jordan Burt. And we have a goal kick.
We take a glance here. What a play by Poitiers to come out and at least alter the attempt. And then there's Sia, who probably could have tried to chip over Poitiers if he knew where Poitiers was, who is well outside the 6-yard box still. And retreating, trying to retreat. Sia's been a consistent scorer for OKC. Someone who has found a better nose for the net as his career has gone on, especially this season, and there's a foul.
Foul on Callum Ross. Free kick, Colorado Springs. You got to feel pretty good if you're Colorado Springs after that. I mean, that's one of the best chances we've seen in this game. Maybe the single best chance for a goal. Baril with a phenomenal play. There's Robinson trying to play through Mabin, but it's handled comfortably by Byers.
Colorado Springs has impressively scrambled defensively. They're doing it with an unconventional lineup right now, tactically.
Yeah, but right there you saw why that came through. You know, why these injuries have now started to catch up to them. You have a fullback turned midfielder playing center back.
Right.
You have a midfielder playing right back. Now we have an Oklahoma City player down.
But this is not how Colorado Springs initially drew it up.
Let's see who this is. Might be Valesky.
You see Sia come over to take a look at him.
Steve Cook has 1 substitution left.
Yeah, he may have another decision forced on him for a second time tonight.
Sia can play center forward, so he would probably slot over there, and I would think, I'm not sure who Oklahoma City would go to here.
Take a look, and you're right. It was Valesky. And coming over and making contact with Jamal Jack. It looks like they may have collided heads.
I think Miguel Gonzalez would probably be the choice here, or maybe Riley Kraft to make his OKC debut if Valesky has to come off here. But that'd be a big loss for OKC. They've already lost their goalkeeper to a non-contact injury in this game.
And then 2 weeks ago, in the victory over LA Galaxy 2, they lost John Brown to a head injury in a collision.
The Welshman who had played so well for them in recent weeks. He is expected to start action next week, and then maybe they'll be able to get him back in within a couple of weeks from now. But the injury situation for Colorado Springs, we've talked about, it's starting to get tenuous for OKC.
Yeah, it really is.
Valesky having trouble just getting back to his feet here.
That is not a good sign. Oh, and he's bleeding too. He was cut up on the temple.
He really took a shot there, and I would think that that's almost certainly the end of the night for Christian Valesky. Wow.
Did not see the blood at first, but that's why it took so long.
There's a UFC pay-per-view tonight, Ken.
That look belongs in 226 in Vegas. Yeah. Boy, he got really cut up badly in a place on your head too that's very vulnerable because of thin skin, and sometimes it looks worse than it actually is in that area, but he definitely took a knock from Jamal Jack, who is a big load, who hit him pretty hard.
It is going to be Miguel Gonzalez, the winger from Mexico, who comes in to replace Valesky, and that would, I assume, see Jaime Sia move to center forward, and Gonzalez take that spot on the left wing.
I'd be fascinated to know from Steve Cook when the last time 2 of his 3 substitutions came because of injury.
Yeah, one of them a goalkeeper, the other one your best offensive player.
Not ideal, and you could still put a big dent in the table up on the board.
Gonzalez, born in Mexico but raised in Yelm, Washington, went to the University of Seattle. He has 1 goal this year, but it was a bicycle kick goal against Sacramento Republic back in April that was named the #1 play on SportsCenter that night.
Yeah, no big deal.
He used to play for Colorado Springs. This is a game against his former team. He had 16 goals, 9 assists in 2 years for the Switchbacks in 2015 and 16. The 2 years they finished 3rd in the West. They have missed him in terms of creating goals up there. But Gonzalez has not found similar success with Oklahoma City. We'll see if he can change this match here. And remember, there's still 2 substitutions available to Colorado Springs. But again, there's just not too many men that they can actually bring in here.
OKC has not looked like a club befitting of having only 2 matches this year where they've scored more than 1 goal.
No, that was on June 13th and then June 16th in back-to-back games against Portland and Rio Grande Valley. Their first 13 goals, they had scored 1 or fewer. That 8-game losing streak, they took 6 shutouts. It was remarkable.
But even despite that number, and of course, really being a team that scores a goal a game is not ideal, but they have scored in 8 straight games, and that's the 3rd longest streak in franchise history. And they're coming up on the 2nd longest streak of 11 from last year.
Yeah, it'll be 9 now with the goal in this one.
Right.
And if they keep this result, they're still unbeaten in 5, but you really, when you're playing the team that's in front of you, the one you're trying to catch.
At home.
At home, you know, you're hoping for more than just 1 point, and OKC will be a little frustrated if they can't get all 3 here, but I think the game has been even as we have a foul here against Sia.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we saw it at the half too with possession, 51-49.
And Colorado Springs very quickly getting that goal. Just 2 minutes in from Shane Malcolm. They nearly had a second from Mabin. A phenomenal stop by Brian Byers to keep the game level. And that very well might save 2 points for Oklahoma City right now. There's a foul on Becky, or rather a Jakwa on Becky.
And it looks like Jakwa and Becky had some words to exchange with one another as well.
Jakwa has not made many friends with the Oklahoma City forward, or back line, I should say, so far in this game. I do not think they'll be going out for drinks afterwards. AJ Jakwa from California. There's a ball down the right side for Sia. Holding up play. Can't keep it in. Jamal Jack with some more excellent defending for Colorado Springs.
OKC, certainly the onus is on them to play more desperately, more urgent here in the final 7 minutes than Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs right now above the red line. They're certainly pleased to take the point and get out of OKC.
There is a maxim in American soccer where if you draw every game on the road, you'd be thrilled. And there's almost no scenario, unless you're the best team playing the worst team or something like that, where you're not happy in American soccer with commercial travel and the distance is covered and the way the schedule is with a lot of 2-game weeks. if you're taking a draw on the road, I don't care who you're playing, I don't care who you are, that's a good result.
Absolutely. That goes for any league in the U.S., and there are managers overseas in Europe that would say the same thing with a simple bus trip across a city on the other side of town that would take a draw and come home and then go for 3.
Some of them play for exclusively that.
Yes, much to our chagrin on Saturday mornings.
I won't name names, but
Jose Mourinho.
Then Ken pretty much slayed it out for you. It ain't Pep Guardiola, I'll say that.
No, we were both thinking it.
There it goes out wide. There's Dixon trying for a long-range shot, and it ended up well wide. Here is Toby Uzo, who we said we expected to see, the big striker from Nigeria. He replaces Ajekwo, who has ruffled some feathers so far in tonight's game. So Uzo played 3 years of college soccer in the United States, 30 for Houston Baptist and 18 for Coastal Carolina, scored 20 goals. He's ranked the #9 prospect in the PDL last year, playing for the Myrtle Beach Mutiny. And now making his professional debut this year with Colorado Springs. This is his 16th appearance. I thought he might come on from Mabin, but it looks like we'll see Mabin and Uzo playing in tandem up top. And Mabin perhaps dipping a little bit deeper here into the midfield.
I also thought we might see Uzo a little bit earlier than the 85th minute as well. But again, coming out of the locker room, having to make a substitution unplanned, changed everything.
Good pass here. Trying to thread it through was Gonzalez, but couldn't get on the other end of it. Baril pressuring the ball. It gets away. Well done by Mabin to win it back for Colorado Springs. And it does appear, as we have a whistle here, Baril getting tangled up here with Robinson, and Jose Lara coming down to break that up. Robinson not happy here. This call's going against Colorado Springs.
And it was Uzo who came up with a high boot.
High boot there, yeah. And play is not going to go underway here. Uzo is going to get his licks in with Jose Lara.
And I don't understand this either if you're Uzo. Why continue the conversation? You're playing for a point in the table, and you're just extending possible added time.
It definitely does appear that the Switchbacks have abandoned their chase of the game here. They are happy to bunker in and grab one.
As they should be.
Yeah, well, so we'll see if the energy can come out here and make something happen. Gonzalez trying to play through McLaws on the left, and we have a foul on OKC.
And the point is important because that means no matter what the 3 teams that are 2 points back of them do, either tonight or tomorrow, you can't be jumped in the table. You'll still be in good shape. So that point is imperative. Get yourself in a spot where you can move on and then prepare for next week.
Quati with a very aggressive goal kick.
Yeah.
Richard Dixon. Sia couldn't get a hold on it. Hamilton, Malcolm. Colorado Springs, hey, if they could find a late winner on the road, they'd be ecstatic.
Sure.
Malcolm plays it off of Alex Dixon. Now OKC forced to pin back. Try and hang on to the point they have. Throw in right into the area for Uzo, but he never got close to wrapping his whole foot around it. It'll be a throw for OKC.
And of course, if you're Colorado Springs and you pick up the point, you're forcing the teams either tonight or tomorrow to win to jump you in the table. They're not going to be able to do much with just a draw.
And that's Fresno, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Fresno play tomorrow night in Portland. That's a big game. Here's Uzo with a little quarter shot, dealt with comfortably by Byers.
St. Louis underway in about a half an hour in Vegas. And San Antonio's
they're off this week. They play at Orange County next week before welcoming in Real Monarchs, so not exactly an easy run for them.
No.
San Antonio come into Oklahoma City at the end of this month on July 28th. Remember, they played just 3 nights ago on the 4th of July.
These 2 teams, by the way, Colorado Springs, OKC, will get it going again less than a month from now in Colorado Springs.
That game on August 4th at 8 o'clock Central, or 7 o'clock Central, 6 Mountain. got a foul here. OKC was trying to get going quickly, and Lara is going to bring everybody back. It was Rasmussen tripped by Malcolm.
And then Dixon tried a quick throw in when in reality you want the set piece.
Yeah, it was a better opportunity there for OKC. And now they're saying no foul, and they're going to let him throw it in. So it's into Rasmussen. Back post, Sia over the bar.
Rasmussen, a good idea. Saw that Sia was creeping towards that back post, but Sia was backpedaling and was not able to get anything on that. And we may be seeing the opportunities waning here for both sides.
Well, Colorado Springs will be fairly happy with the draw. They could have had a win if it were not for the reserve goalkeeper, Brian Byers, to come in. Colorado Springs looking for a quick counter. It's back down to OKC. Let's see if Dixon can make something out of this. He turns around Schweitzer, lays off Gonzalez. Oklahoma City, 5 minutes of stoppage time coming your way. So there is time left for Energy FC to make something happen.
Sure is.
But the ball stripped away. Hamilton has Mr. Robinson coming inside. Robinson to the penalty area. Played up into the air by Rasmussen.
It wasn't pretty, but that was well done by Richard Dixon to stay with that and break up the run.
Throw in Colorado Springs off Baril. And now we'll get the official time from Seth Barton. It is 5 minutes. And no issues with the board this time.
No. That was well done by our fourth official.
5 minutes to go. See if Oklahoma City can find a winner. Colorado Springs on the ball. It's through here to Uzo holding up play. And Rasmussen pulls it back for OKC. Excuse me, that was Ross. Here's Alex Dixon, who scored the goal very early in the game for OKC. Dixon, cross, knocked away by Jack. Into no man's land and out for a throw. Jamal Jack has come up more times than we can count in this game to save Colorado Springs. He's been magnificent.
If you're a Colorado Springs fan, I think Jamal Jack is your man of the match. And we're trying to sort things out here at the edge of the area.
Jose Lara just getting everybody in the right spot. Now a throw in coming to Baril in the corner. Back out wide for McLaws. Here's his cross, back post, nobody there. Goal kick.
Yeah, that was just sort of a put it in play and pray, and there was nobody home on the end of that.
Poitier getting ready to kick it away. Remember, folks, just 4 days. Yeah, OKC played on the 4th of July. They play again against Las Vegas on national television on Wednesday night. And you got to wonder, we saw both Valesky with that gash to his temple and then Van Oekel with a non-contact injury to his left leg. They both left this game. That's your starting striker and your starting goalkeeper, one of the best in the league at that. And are they going to get them back in time for that game against Las Vegas on national TV on ESPN News at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Wednesday night?
Yeah, and Valesky had already missed time 3 weeks ago with injury.
Dixon trying to thread through a heavy touch, and it's a goal kick for Poitier.
I think that Van Oekel is probably right now, if you're looking at prioritizing who's available to you in injury, he's the one you look at. Brian Byers is suddenly, you would think, going to be thrust into a role that he had not anticipated. Unless Van Oekel makes a miraculous recovery from that non-contact injury, you just wouldn't think that he'd be ready to go against Las Vegas. OKC will obviously have to find an answer at the top of their formation, but you would think that Sia probably ends up getting back into the starting 11.
6'2", he is a traditional center forward mold. Here's a long ball in, header on wide of the post. Uzo trying to win it late for Colorado Springs. What a ball that was. I think it was Hanlon from the far side who drove it into Toby Uzo, who nearly had a winner here for the Switchbacks, and it was Hanlon.
That would have been victory for Colorado Springs out of nowhere, and he just outruns Jordan Cano to that post. Cano who lost track of Uzo, who has about 5 inches on him, and that was near disaster for OKC. Wow, what a pass.
The Switchbacks, I won't say gave up, but certainly backed off on winning this game about 15 minutes ago. If they had been able to pull one out of nothing there to grab 3 points, I mean, that's what playoff teams do. That's how they get them. Final substitution for Colorado Springs coming, and I think just to kill some time here, it'll be Macias for Mabin, we're being told. And while Gonzalez lays it off to McLaws, and it's essential now that OKC keep the ball in play. McLaws crosses to the spot. Baril back out and comfortably played by Schweitzer.
Colorado Springs has done a nice job of not giving OKC anything.
Rasmussen pops it straight up. Poitier calls for his man to get on top of it, ends up with Baril. Jose Baril driving in. Here's Rasmussen. Great play by Robinson to get it out for a corner.
Robinson says, hey, I'm okay with this plain defense. Not what I generally do, but hey, I'm getting used to it.
And this corner kick may very well be the final play of the match. Lara, I haven't seen him look back at the substitution area.
No.
I don't think Macias is going to get on here. Oh, they are going to get him in.
There he is.
Okay, so they are going to get Macias in, and he will likely be in there for just one play.
Yeah, this may very well now be the last kick of the match.
Yeah, it certainly appears that way when we look at the clock. And even if there hadn't been a substitution, that this corner might be the last chance for OKC to grab 3 points at the death. Otherwise, it'll be a draw between the Energy and the Switchbacks. Mabin nearly had the winner with an incredible shot that was saved by an equally astonishing stop from Brian Byers.
Mabin taking his time. Tells the 4th referee, yeah, I got a little hamstring issue. That's why it took me so long.
I'm sure he's tired. Rasmussen to drive it. Last chance for OKC. Headed up, caught by Poitier, and a foul anyway. 3 Energy players came flying into the area. Poitier goes down, and that'll end the match.
Well, 2 teams that will be fine with the point in the table, but Colorado Springs will certainly feel better about it. OKC at home against a Colorado Springs squad that has been wrought with injury, and they're unable to come out with the win. Colorado Springs gets a result on the road that's been difficult to come by all season long, so they have to feel good about it. They get a goal early in the second half, and now OKC, they have injuries of their own, including Matt Van Oekel. That is going to be the story of the week, possibly in the USL.
Let's get the Mass Mutual of Oklahoma man of the match. It's Alex Dixon, that goal early in the game to provide Oklahoma City with the opener. Shane Malcolm was able to equalize later, but Dixon, I thought, put together a phenomenal shift, and this is a great finish. 5-hole here on Poitier.
Burrell, his first assist of the season. Dixon, look at that skilled finish with the left foot. Gets it right past Poitier. And at that point, OKC were rolling, but Dixon so strong and the deserved Mass Mutual man of the match.
Energy FC and Switchbacks FC split the spoils tonight. We'll be back for the Centec postgame show right after these messages.
When that hurricane hit, the entire community came together as a whole. It was such an overwhelming response to help others. No one thought that they were going to do this before it happened, and everyone just did it. I think that's the way that human nature should be looked at.
I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you.
A well's output is only as strong as landing the production stream. In extreme conditions, call for extreme durability. At Syntec, our engineers understand what matters. That's why we craft centralizers differently than anyone else in the industry. Laser cut from a single piece of special steel alloy. There's only one centralizer this strong. Syntec Centralizers, an international symbol of quality.
Switchbacks and Energy share the spoils tonight. 1-1 between Oklahoma City and Colorado Springs. The goalkeeper for OKC, Matt Van Oekel, went off injured early in the second half. I can't say he's in good spirits, but it's nice to see him out on the field. We'll see if he's ready for their game against Las Vegas on Wednesday night on ESPN News. Meanwhile, there's Shane Malcolm, who was the goal scorer early in the second half for Colorado Springs to even up the game, and ended up being the final goal scored in this one.
And an entertaining match. I believe it probably should have been 2-2, maybe a 3-2 final. There were goals to be had, opportunities to be had, and it started right at the onset. But here is what started everything off for OKC. Look at Burrell, split defenders, left-footed cross, Dixon, right foot, left foot, 5-hole goal, 1-0, 15 minutes into this one. That's as good as it gets, and for a team that has had trouble scoring so far this season, man, that was really skilled.
He's a Texas guy, a little Tyler Sagan there, hockey fan.
And you look at Malcolm, man, what an opportunity that was later in the first half. Puts it up and over Van Oekel. He had a lot of net to work with and just could not put it on frame, and he knew it.
Well, Malcolm would redeem himself in the second half as he and Hamilton combined here for a brilliant goal.
And you look at Hamilton, wait, patient. Malcolm almost loses it, able to recover, beats the defense, beats Van Oekel, which is extremely difficult to do. A nasty chip from a difficult angle, and just 2 minutes in to the second half, we were level at one apiece with a lot more action to come.
Yeah, it stayed end-to-end for quite a while after this. Saeed Robinson got himself into the game for Colorado Springs. This is Maven with this shot. What a save. That's the second goalkeeper, Byers, making what I think is the save of the week in the league.
And that was the first action we saw from Byers. This was his only save of the match, and it came moments after he replaced the injured Van Oekel. Save of the week.
This was nearly a winner very late into stoppage time from Toby Uzo, but went wide of the post. Colorado Springs sat back for largely the last 20 minutes of the game, and they earned a draw in Oklahoma City. Very nearly a win on a couple of occasions. But we think it's probably fair that these two teams both get a point out of this one.
Absolutely, and we thought the possession would be even, and it was 51-49 for OKC Energy. Look at the shots for Colorado Springs, 17, but only 2 on target, and some of those that were off the mark were incredible chances to put it in the back of the net. But overall, a deserved draw for both sides. Colorado Springs, though, is going to feel better about their point in the table.
Well, they have Fresno, San Antonio chasing them along with St. Louis FC, and they're now 4 points ahead of all 3 of those teams who are tied in 9th. Colorado Springs, their next game is on Saturday next, 6 o'clock Mountain Time at home against Sacramento Republic. Colorado Springs play 4 of their next 5 at home, and they have Tulsa, Rio Grande Valley, and Oklahoma City in those games, in addition to a trip to San Antonio. So this is a real chance for the Switchbacks to secure their spot in the playoff picture.
Yeah, and possibly try and move themselves up in the table. You don't want to be right there at the red line, because that's what kept Colorado Springs out of the postseason last year, 2 points outside.
Meanwhile, Oklahoma City, they're on ESPN News on national television on Wednesday night in the USL Game of the Week, 7 o'clock Central against Las Vegas Lights. We'll have to see if they get Christian Valesky or Mr. Van Oekel back healthy for that one. Ken, some final thoughts on this game tonight?
Well, Matt Van Oekel is going to be the story of the next 3 days in Oklahoma City from a soccer standpoint. Will he be able to play? If not, Brian Byers, hometown kid, he is going to get the start with OKC Energy. But both of these squads now in tonight's show that have a lot to play for. Colorado Springs in the West on the inside, OKC Energy on the outside, but very much looking in with an opportunity.
They've revived their season. They've gone a 5th straight game unbeaten. But in the end, it's a split pot tonight between OKC and Colorado Springs. For Ken Levicka, I'm producer Brian Duvall, the great crew here at Vista World Lake. My name is Evan Weston. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Final score one more time. Colorado Springs 1, Oklahoma City 1. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday evening.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.